In this video, we are covering ACM delegations. So what is delegations? Delegations is a set of permissions that when assigned to an identity account will give that operator the ability to access the ACM software and perform different tasks, different functionalities in the system. So let's take a look at some of the prerequisites. So ACM Professional or Enterprise latest version is advisable. No extra license is needed for this feature. Delegations is a standard feature, is a standard configuration in ACM. So let's take a look at the software and see how that looks like. So here is ACM. This is a brand new install. I just download a template, a VMware template, and from a Avigilon website, and install this. I'm going to go ahead and log it in. So this is how you're going to see a system when you get a brand new system and you trying to configure it. This is pretty much how it's going to look like. Logging in with the admin account is the first and the only account I have of the system at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and log it in. And here is my ACM system. I'm going to go ahead and go into rows and then delegations. So we're going to go over the delegations and how you configure and create a new delegation. And with that delegation, you can go and assign to an operator to be able to access ACM and perform its operations. So it's going to go ahead and click here in delegations. And you're going to notice is that delegations come in with some default delegations already created. There is 10 of them, and you're going to notice that the only one that you cannot delete is this bottom one, super admin. So the admin account that I'm logged in right now is the initial account and has full permissions of everything, super admin account. And all the other accounts that you see, or the other delegations that you see here, you can delete them, you can modify them, and do whatever you need to do with it. So there's a couple ones. Let's cover a couple of those delegations in here so you know what they do. I would suggest you keep those three first delegations here. So this ACC administrator is used to connect ACM to ACC. So this is a delegation that you can assign to an operator, and that operator is going to be used to log in ACC. So then our video system, Avigilon ACC video system, is integrated with ACM. This is the account that you're going to use, or the delegation that you're going to use, assigned to an account that will allow you to do the interaction between the two systems. ACM Verify is our virtual stations, our virtual keypads. I also suggest you keep that, so this will be easier for you to configure, to utilize the ACM Verify application. And then admin and row operators and all these other ones, with the exception of super admin, is up to you if you want to use it or not. We would suggest you take a look at it first. And most likely, you probably want to modify them or even delete them once you understand what they do. If you feel that it's not necessary for your system, my suggestion is that you delete them and keep it clean so you know exactly the delegations that you have. So let's go ahead and create one, and I'll show you how I go about, right? So for example, you can look at this enrollment operator here to get a sense of the types of delegations that we assign into an operator. Now, what an enrollment operator is going to be, I think it depends in each different business, in each different system. So I would suggest that you create your own and then go ahead and delete the ones that are here that they're not being utilized by you. Security guard that you see over here, I've created. This does not come as default, so I created this for our test. You can delete them. So I'm going to go ahead and delete them just to show you how that works, and then we go ahead and create that again. So you can come in here and just click the delete button and then confirm. And now the screen refresh, that delegation goes away. So if you need to create a delegation, you can just go and click on that. Let's take a look at a couple of delegations and so you have an idea what they do. So for example, let's take a look here in enrollment operator. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And what you're going to notice is, so that you have two boxes. This over here, members, is what is assigned to this delegation. So this will give you permissions to do certain things. And on the left side, which says available, is all the delegations the system can provide that you can actually assign to someone. So you would highlight the delegation that you want and move with the mouse. If you want to assign multiple delegations, what you do, you would hold Control and just click in the delegations that you want. Or if it's a block of delegations, I can highlight the first one, hold Shift, hit the bottom one, and you get all the group. Okay, so that's basically how the navigation works. And then once you have that, then just hit the arrow and you move them to members. You want to remove something, is pretty much the opposite. You just highlight the feature that you want to remove and just go ahead and click in delete. Okay. The majority of those delegations are here. They're self-explanatory. So when you see the title, you know what they do, right? So here's an example. Identities update. Ability to update an identities, ability to show an identity, and so on, right? So there's a lot of things in here. My suggestion is that try to add as least as possible. So be restrictive, right? So don't add delegations that you don't understand. So for example, what door Kaba Gen admin card does. If you don't know it, don't add it. Just don't add that. And then I'm going to show you a trick to make sure that when you're creating your delegations, you can then test it before you turn that over to the operator, right? So you have the ability, we'll show you in just a little bit, how you can go and test and make sure that you assign all the delegations that you need. So if you miss something, the system will tell you. When you try to access that particular functionality and you don't have the permission, the system will tell you exactly what permission you're missing. So then you can come over here, pick the permission that you need and move it over to that operator, move it over to that delegation assigned to that operator, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this and show you how to go and create a delegation, okay? Before we do that, let me show you here, super admin. So this is the, this is the delegation that has all features that ACM can provide, with exception of two, and here they are, okay? For security measures, we have left this identity destroy batch and duplicate pin unassigned. You can, as a super admin, you can actually go here and assign them if you need them. We left that out just in case, so just to be a little bit more secure and don't have customers maybe performing an operation that they don't want. So identity destroy batch, what it does is allow you to go to the identities, do a search for a group of identities, and delete them in bulk. So that's what this identity destroy batch does. What this particular delegation will do is this will place a button in the identity when you do a search that allow you to select a group of identities and delete them. So if you don't have that in there, then that button won't show, so you don't accidentally destroy or delete identities in ACM. So again, keep in mind, you can come back and add this into the system. The next one that you see here, duplicate pin, this is very, very specific. This is if you have a system where duplicate pins will be allowed. In this situation, ACM will configure itself in a way that now a PIN number is always assigned to a credential. So you can no longer do card or PIN. You have to do card and PIN in the system. And that's how we allow you to get duplicate pins. So very few customers use that type of functionality. As I said, it's very specific. So don't move that to the members or to the assigned. Leave it the way it is, and you should be fine. Okay. Let's go ahead and create a delegation, and I'll show you how my criteria are when I pick it. So let's say that I'm going to go ahead and create add, and I'm going to do a security guard again. Okay, so give it a name. Suggest you give a meaningful name, so then when you select the delegation, you understand what that delegation is going to do. Here's how this is configured. So you create a delegation. Once you create a delegation, you're going to assign the delegation to a role here. And then you're going to assign the role to the identity, and you're going to give you're going to give the identity a login and password. This is how an operator is going to log in ACM and be able to do different functionalities. Okay, so let's go ahead and do security guard. Great, go ahead and save it. And now we're gonna go through this list. So, as I said, be restrictive. You don't know what the functionality does, you don't know what the delegation does, it doesn't ring any bell, don't add it. Leave it out, and then later on, you can always go back and add it when the system tells you, hey, you're missing, you cannot go here because you're missing this object. And this is what ACM calls each one of those delegations, objects, okay? So I'm gonna go and create just the very simple ones. I'm gonna bypass the access groups. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look in monitor. So this is the ability of an operator to monitor alarms. So yes, I want them to acknowledge alarms, not acknowledge all. I want that operator that security guard to be able to acknowledge. I want to be able to clear. So I'm holding control on the keyboard. I wanted to be able to monitor identities. List is always a good option. So list will give you the ability to see things in ACM and see as a group, as a list of items. So you see there's another one called show. Show is show a specific record within that function. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use list. Alarm code photo. I have no idea what this does, so I'm going to leave it out, right? So if you don't know what it is, leave it out. For an operator, appliance, right? Anything related to appliance, which is basically over here on this side, is configuration. I'm going to leave it out. I don't want an operator to have that. So because I already have some assigned, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and hit the arrow, push into the right. So now this is unchecked, right? Because I just moved this types over here. And I'm just going to continue going here, continue looking for different functionality, different delegations that I need to assign to that person. So again, nothing related to appliance because this is not a system administrator or anything like that. So I'm not going to give access to that. And I just keep going, keep moving along. Areas. This gives the ability to look and change areas. So because it's in this two tabs over here, physical access and rows, this is the area where all the system is configured along with all this area. So this is a good clue for you not to assign anything that starts with appliance, collaboration, schedules, what else? Doors, panels, right? So I'm not going to assign anything like that because I don't want, in this case, a security guard to be able to go and modify the system. I just want him to monitor the system, see alarms, see identities, and things like that, okay? So again, depending on what your operator needs to do, the functionality or the delegations that you're going to assign is going to change. So again, I'm going to keep moving here, moving along. A vigilance server, so this is for the video systems. I'm not going to let this operator do anything related to that. Badge templates, neither. I don't want them to be able to do that. Batch jobs, no. I just keep moving along. Card formats, no. As I said, collaborations, right? So right over here, under setup and settings, keys collaboration. No, I don't want this operator to have the ability to do anything in collaborations. Just keep on going, okay? Delegations, nope. If you do that, then basically you let this person with some restrictions assign permissions to himself, so you don't want to do that. Doors, oh, this is important, right? So this operator will have the ability to do certain things to doors. So now I'm going to look this a little bit closer, right? Door policies, no. Well, the ability to unmask, door forced, holding control, and unmask, door held. So I want to do that. Now, look what's going to happen. I highlight those two. I'm going to hit the arrow, and look what's going to happen on this side. Okay? Those just moved over, right? Okay, great. Let's keep going. Let's continue. Ability to change the door to card only, none of that. I might let this person not disabling, not deleting doors, none of that. Just keep going. Oh, yeah, I want to give him the ability to grant access. And door list, yes. I'm going to give him, oops. Door grant, door list. I'm going to give him the ability to do that. Mask forced, mask held in this particular case. Lock a door, not ability to create a new door. So I'm going to go ahead and move the items that are already selected so I don't accidentally click and miss the ones that I've already highlighted. I'm going to move them over. And just keep going. So show doors, yes. And you assign whatever you need to do. So unlock, Usually I try not to give this one because if someone goes and press unlock, the door will remain unlocked until the next schedule runs. So usually don't. So I would give them the ability to restore a door, unmask doors, okay? No updates, view virtual readers, view virtual station, grant, and things like that. So I just keep some. If I don't know what it is, again, don't assign to it, right? Elevator access. Do I need to do that? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe in my system I don't have elevator access, so then I don't go do that. Event colors, event logs. So if I'm not sure, here's something that I usually do. I do this. I select list and show. This will give the operator the ability to go, in this case, to go and see events, list all events, and look in a particular event. Nothing else. It cannot create, cannot update, cannot delete, cannot edit, right? So if you don't know exactly, you could start with just those two. So this gives at least the ability to see that particular functionality. So in this case, event logs, right? So go ahead, move it over, and just keep going down in the list. So basically, this is how you go about selecting delegations or creating your delegations, okay? So then once this is created, I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. I'm gonna stop here just for the sake of time. So hit save, and now my security guard delegation is created. Next, I'm gonna go to roles, and I'm gonna go ahead and create a role. So as you can see, ACM also comes with a predefined roles. I'm not gonna use those right now. I'm gonna go and create my own role, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and use add role, and I'm going to create one called security guard. And then you can go and select the date. Normally, I'll go over here and just do enter 37. Hit install, hit save. When you do save here, now the role will create new tabs. So here are the tabs, right? Because this is a logical role, meaning giving access to the software. I'm not going to assign any access groups. In other words, I'm not going to assign any doors. I'm going to keep the roles separate, what is logical and physical access. Also, in my system, I do something like this. I usually go here in the beginning and I type a L. Go ahead and put here in the beginning. L space dash space. Usually I place an L for logical access and a P for physical access. So logical means accessing the software, logging into ACM. And P means physical access, so doors, giving access to doors. So then it's easier for me just to go look at this row and say, okay, this will give a security guard the ability to log in ACM and perform tasks, okay? So I'm gonna hit save again just to keep that in there. Okay, then once that's done, I'm gonna go to delegate and select the delegation I've created, in this case, security guard. Move it over and hit save. Okay? Because security guard, I'm gonna go to routing and allow this guard to see everything that's happening in the system. Or I could restrict. I could go into routing groups and create a routing group that restricts certain types of events. So for example, I might say that I don't want a security guard seeing events that talk about, or the events that point or that show system maintenance items, like battery is low, or a door strike, or doors, some type of events that not necessarily it's meaningful to, in this case, a security guard. I could go and create a route and restrict or filter those types of messages out. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and use the route everything, so the security guard will be able to see all the transactions that are coming along. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and hit that save. And now I'm going to go to Identities, look for my operator. In this case, my operator is Donald Duck. Here it is. I'm going to go to Rows and give them that permission. So I'm going to go here and look for that L security guard. Okay. Hit OK. I could give them also access to doors. If I had physical access, so doors, I could give them different roles to access doors too. In this case, I just want to show you how you can log into the system and perform certain tasks, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. I'm not gonna add tokens for now. I'm gonna go back to the Identity tab, and then down over here, you can go and give him a login. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him, I'm gonna call him Donald, and the password, enter a password that you want. Make sure that you use a strong password. I am not, just because this is a task, but you get the idea. And I'm gonna say you can be logged in indefinitely. Okay, saved, very well. So now that's done. So next step, I'm gonna show you how you test this. So now what I've done, I've created a delegation. I've assigned delegation into a row, and then I gave the row to the identity here on the rows, and also gave them a operator login credential, right? So if you don't give them a login credential, this operator won't be able to get into ACM and perform its tasks. So it's double security, right? So I have to have a login with a valid username and password, and also a role that allow me to log in into the application and perform tasks. Okay, let's take a look now how that works. Okay, so now I'm logged in as an administrator here on the left. So here's what I'm doing. Left side, I have a Google Chrome browser, and on this side I have Firefox. To perform this test, you need to have two separate browsers, okay? In one browser, I'm logged in as the administrator, and in the other browser, I'm gonna log in as that operator that I wanna test. In this case, Donald Duck, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and log in here as Donald. And let's see what happens. No, I don't want to save that. All right, so I'm logged in as Donald, right? And now I'm gonna go and try to perform the tasks that Donald would need to have, right? So for example, I'm gonna go here into events. And right off the bat, it's telling me this message. I don't have system summary listing. So it's not gonna let me go into monitor events, okay? So what I'm gonna do now as the operator, as the administrator that's setting this up, I'm gonna go back to my delegations. I'm gonna look for the delegation I've created, okay? Here it is. I'm gonna go ahead and click here, and this is the delegation I'm looking for is system summary listing, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and just highlight here, hit S, so go all the way to the everything starting with an S, and then I'm gonna go scroll down and look for that system summary listing, there. Move that over, save it, come back here, refresh the screen, and try again. See, now I can get inside, now I can go and look into that. So this is how you're gonna go around the system and perform the tasks you need that operator to perform. So you're gonna try that and make sure that you don't miss anything. So once again, very important, don't assign delegations that you're not sure what they do, right? So try to be very restrictive, because then later on when you're testing, and if you miss something like I just showed you here, you can go back and change that and have that operator, you know, add the functionality for that operator that you're missing. So again, let's go ahead and I'm gonna type this too, just to show you once again. Okay, so now I'm missing, in here, I'm missing monitor listing. You can see that right there. Okay, same principle. I'm gonna go back here, go back to that security guard, delegation, highlight one of those, click M, right? So monitor listing missing. So I'm gonna click M and just scroll down to monitor listing. Here it is. Put that in, save. I might be missing something else. We'll see in a second. So reload the page once again so I can reload the set of permissions. I'm gonna go click in that. And now I can go look at it, okay? So that's how, I don't have any hardware defined. As I said, this is a clean system, but you get the idea. So now I can go into that functionality, right? Anything else that I click in the system here, so for example, doors, if I click on that, it's going to show me the page, but it's most likely is not going to let me add a door. So I want to add a door as an operator. It's going to say, no, I don't have the permission to do it. Great, this is exactly how we want it, right? Or delete a door or do something like that. Let's see, can this operator go and change delegations? It cannot, right? I don't have those delegations. So those are, again, this is how you do it. Very easy. Once again, I have Firefox or Chrome in this side, logged in as an operator, and on this side, I'm logged in as that operates. So this is the administrator on the left side, operator on the right. So this is how I can quickly test the system and make sure that when I turn this over to that operator, the system is performing correctly. Okay, that's it for now.